Ladies and gentlemen, this is Player 2, and today I'm going to be discussing my favorite character within Overwatch, and I'm sure she's a lot of favorites of you guys out there as well, or she's your favorite, or fucking, I don't know. This is an unprofessional guide on Tracer. I'm going to be going over some points and shit, so pay attention, and you might learn something from a mediocre Tracer. Alright. So right off the bat, how do you describe Tracer? I would describe Tracer as a guerrilla fighter. She's going to be going in and out of combat, dealing damage, and just kind of being a nuisance toward the enemy. She's a disruptor on top of that. So basically, you're not going to get a bunch of kills with Tracer en masse, I would say. Not, like, most of the time you won't get play of the game unless you get a good sticky bomb in, you know, which is her ult, which is this. It blows up. It's pretty cool. Basically the way you want to play Tracer overall, like if I had to try to sum it up like within a sentence, it'd be play around your team and at the back of the enemy team. So basically stay behind the enemy team as much as you can, just kind of shoot them with shit, you know, just pelt them with damage whenever you fucking can, and be kind of annoying asshole, you know. You're basically a fly buzzing in and out, and the enemy's just fucking swatting at you with whatever the fuck. And that's essentially what Tracer is. She's an annoying fucking pest. And you must keep this in your spirit as you play this character. I think it actually really helps, and it helped me learn her very early on to keep in mind that I'm not going to be able to just fucking slaughter people just because I'm behind them. Now, her weapons are a medium-range pistol, so it's very important with Tracer to just know your spacing. You need to know what distance your guns are effective and when they're not, because at a certain range, the drop-off is kind of tremendous. You know, it's going to take like 5 clips to do this, and they're not going to sit still like that. This is like if they're sitting still. Like, that is pathetic damage in this game. For as fast as a character can die, that is pathetic damage. But if I move up a little closer, like say to this guardrail, I can kill them. You see, that's medium range. Or medium close, if you will. That's where your sweet spot kind of is. And here, let's back up a little bit more and see how much I can get away with this, okay? And you see it kind of drops off there. So knowing that exact spacing and just getting a feel for that is pretty good. But the rule of thumb, mid-close is what I would say. Just keep that in mind. When you're fighting opponents, just know your spacing. Know the spacing of your enemies as well. For example, if Reaper's coming up on your ass, just do a blink backwards and just kind of keep him at mid-range. You'll actually outperform Reaper. And eventually in the fight, you could like do a recall and, you know, fuck him up completely if he, you know, thinks that you're such a fucking issue or whatever. So, know your spacing, kids. Know the distance of your blink. I think I found the little marker down here that I could show you what the distance of a regular blink is. It's basically from this line to this line. Like, you'll see I'll take a few steps forward, but the rule of thumb is still kind of the same. Your distance is basically from here to here, like, in general. And you'll get a feel for it. I have no doubt that you'll get a feel for how much blinks are going to take you to what place, you know. Again, just understand your spacing and how to utilize that spacing. One thing I actually kind of want to go over with is how to kind of offensively get into a fight with blinks, when you should use blinks. Now, for example, if I'm approaching the enemy from behind, don't blink in. Like, I don't care, like, they could be, like, fucking over here. If your enemy is not focused on you, you don't necessarily have to blink in if you don't want to. But sometimes what I'll do, if the need is dire, I'll just blink once, then start attacking, you know, with forward momentum and keeping my distance around them. And keep in mind, unless you're being fired upon from behind or the side or anything, or someone's taking a notice to you and starts shooting at you, you're not going to need to blink until that person turns around. When that person turns around, you actually kind of have, if you're keeping your spacing, like let's just say here, you actually have a lot of options. Okay, the enemy's turned around at this point. You can basically blink in any direction, and that's going to immediately confuse them. Now, one thing that's kind of deceptive is you see how I kind of had a mini trail there. The enemy does not really see that trail or is aware of it. So you can kind of blink in any direction, but on their screen, they're going to kind of see, they're going to be like, what the fuck, where'd they go? And they're going to kind of have to make a decision. Do I keep fighting the team over here, or do I turn around and focus on you? What you're going to want to happen is you're going to want them to focus on you. You are not supposed to be the primary damage dealer in these types of fights. Now, you definitely can be, and you should definitely try to optimize your performance when you are dealing damage. Always aim for the head, duh. It's actually not that hard with this character. You just kind of drag your scope up a little bit and just pop people in the head. Most characters aren't that fast in this game, so you could generally get some crits off. Basically, her pistols kind of do a medium-low damage, so that's kind of why I say don't play Tracer like I'm going to be the one killing people. You want to play Tracer, again, like a fucking pesky fly who's just flying in and out of someone's face, and they're just going to fucking swat at you, be like, God damn it, get out of here, what are you doing here, fucking Tracer? And you also want to, just kind of terrorize them with guerrilla fire, always. Always be a nuisance, always. She's a disruptor more than she is an assassin. Let's just put it that way. Alright, knowing when to recall. Now, this is pretty goddamn important, and I feel like it's kind of situational, and you're going to eventually feel the enemy team and kind of know when and when not to recall in certain situations. Basically, and this kind of plays into another tip, it's about map awareness, and it's about knowing what's going on in the fight. Basically, if you can blink to a health kit, blink to a health kit. Save your recall for when you absolutely need it. And sometimes you'll want to have your recall in a situation where your team just needs someone to deal some damage. So what you'll do is you'll blink in, and the enemy team will be shooting at you. You'll wait for Tracer's signature gasp. And actually, this is another tip, by the way. Before I explain the rest of this tip, when Tracer is low on health and when you should recall. Actually, this is a part of the same goddamn tip. God, I'm stupid. This is an unprofessional review, guys. Or unprofessional guide. Fuck's sake. I'm not editing it out. Fuck it. You'll know when to recall based on damage when Tracer gasps. Basically, when she's below half, and usually when you're below half, that means you're almost dead as Tracer because you have a very small health pool. She'll let out a signature gasp, and let me see if I can get her to do it. Yep, there it is. I don't know if you can hear it. I hope my game audio is up loud enough. But basically, once you're at 70, she will do a signature gasp. This is when you should recall. And I didn't do it fast enough, obviously. You want to hit that button immediately, and you'll basically recall all your health at that point. Tracer cannot take a lot of damage. Therefore, knowing when and when not to recall is very fucking important. When you can get away with it, go ahead and grab a health kit. Even when you're not below half, go and grab a health kit if you know one is nearby. Like, say you've just caused a diversion, the enemy's kind of pissed at you, just leave and get a health kit, come back, and they might be turned around fighting your enemy again, or your team, and you'll just do the same shit over and over again, being that fucking nuisance. And you could even stay on them long enough and force a recall if you know that medkit is on cooldown. So understanding the mechanics behind the health packs is also essential to learning this character. So basically, there's a lot of shit going on. Another thing I wanted to bring up is one thing I see noobs do a lot is they think that Tracer can only blink forward. This is not true. You can blink in any direction as long as you're pointing the left stick in that direction. So I can blink to the side, I can blink backwards, I can blink forwards. Any direction, diagonal, does not fucking matter. But you cannot blink up. That does not happen. You can only stay on a vertical plane. You cannot go into the air or on the horizontal plane, I guess. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But basically you cannot blink in the air like Genji's dash. Moving on. Who are the characters I would say are your Nemesis characters? And what a Nemesis character is are characters that can dispatch of you very quickly with little to no effort. I would say, I've played Tracer long enough to say I would say Reaper's not a problem for me, and I wouldn't say Widowmaker's a problem for me. Your biggest problem characters are going to be Hanzo and Junkrat. and sometimes Winston. But Hanzo and Junkrat, overwhelmingly, because people play those characters much more often. Hanzo, like, metric fuck ton more than a lot of these characters. But basically, Hanzo and Junkrat have the ability to one-shot you. And Junkrat... What the hell? It kicked me out of training. What the hell? Why can't I practice long? What the fuck? Anyways... That was strange. I didn't know that could happen. Basically, Hanzo can kill you with one arrow. And he can spam. Whereas Widowmaker cannot. So you can kind of blink around Hanzo. You can't blink around, you know... Or you can blink around Widowmaker. You can't really blink around Hanzo. Therefore, I think Hanzo's a bigger problem for you. But the rule of thumb for, again, for when you're fighting a Hanzo or Junkrat... And I'll have to go into it a little bit more for Junkrat... When their eyes are on you in almost any angle, even if it's this, sometimes it's very deceptive because like Hanzo holds his head in a kind of weird manner, kind of like look for his forehead. That's when you'll know. Blink immediately. Do not give them a chance to hit you because it's devastating for your character and it could just get you killed and just kind of waste your team's time. With that being said, Junkrat's a different story because Junkrat can put a bear trap on the ground that essentially shuts you the fuck down. It completely immobilizes you. You cannot blink out of it. You cannot, you can't really deal with it in a fast manner before Junkrat turns around and just kills you because he's alerted as soon as that trap goes off. But what you can try to do is just kind of shoot it off your feet. And hopefully you'll get out of it in time before they completely kick your ass. Another fun fact is if you do manage to shoot Junkrat's trap off your feet, immediately recall. So you, like, say you blink into a trap by accident. Oh shit, shoot it off your feet as fast as you can, recall. Because that trap, when it clamps on you, does like almost half your health, if I'm not mistaken. I wish I had a practice partner to kind of be Junkrat. We could kind of have like a battle scenario, but that's not the case. Alright guys, I think that's about wraps it up. How do I feel about Tracer? Do I feel like she's good for every situation? I think she's best for attacking. Pure attack, you don't really want to defend with Tracer often. I feel like you would rather have Soldier when you're defending if you wanted to play an assault character. Or maybe even Reaper if you wanted to get some like slow-moving back shots in. I don't think she's a very good defense character. She can be played defensively, don't get me wrong. But I would just think that her role isn't as... It's not as necessary when you're defending. Having a sniper, I think, is more important than having a Tracer at that point. Or having a better medium range, you know, Soldier 76 is a, you know, better idea. Any game mode she's particularly good in. I say all the game modes are fine. Just when you're attacking, you can use Tracer. But I highly suggest using someone else when you're defending. It's just better for the team. And that's about it, guys. She's a guerrilla fighter. Know your spacing. Play around your team and behind the enemy team. Know your spacing. Know when to recall. And keep in mind where health kits are. Know your map awareness. Know where the enemies are. Just kind of like have like a 360 lizard brain, whatever the fuck. Watch out for Hanzo and Junkrat. Or Hanzo. And that's it, guys. Let me know if you thought this was useful. If anything I said made any sense. Or if it was just a fucking ramble from someone who doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Oh, one more thing. Almost fucking forgot. Learn this fucking sticky bomb. If you die during the sticky bomb animation at all, it usually doesn't come out. It's a very awkward arc. Like it's like she like bitch throws it. Like she like tosses it barely a foot in front of you. And hold on, let me try to get another one. I don't know if I can. It's a very lame throw. And I guess we can try to measure it based on these arrows right here. As soon as I get it up again. God damn it. I don't have time for this. I'm just going to throw it one more time and that'll be the end of the video, guys. Thanks for watching.